Shauna Rae is bringing viewers into her unique life on the new TLC show, I Am Shauna Rae.
I'm not a little girl.
The newfound reality star was diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer at just 6 months old. She beat the disease, but her treatment had an unexpected side effect. Her growth was stunted. At 22 years old, she stands at just 3 feet 10 inches tall, the height of an average 8-year-old.
We can't have children at the bar.
Shauna spoke to people about living with her rare condition and sharing the experience with the rest of the world.
I was told at 16 that my bones were permanently fused and that puberty had hit, so there's a chance that I would grow 1 to 2 inches. It was like glass falling on a floor. It kind of broke down the fantasy of what I had in my mind when I pictured my future. It was a little difficult to grasp. I mean, I always pictured that I was going to be taller and that I was going to have what I thought was a normal life, and having that just happen was kind of a loss for me. I had to kind of grieve in the fact that I wasn't going to be tall. I did take time to myself. I focused on the positives and not the negatives. There were days where I was extremely upset with the fact, but I tried to have more positive days than negative days. I think the biggest difficulty with my type of dwarfism is that you don't know it's a disability. You don't know there's something wrong with me until you talk to me. And a lot of people use that to prejudge me. And with working, it makes it difficult because someone's always going to be like, oh, child labor. If I go out to a bar, it's always going to be difficult because they think I'm underage. If I go out with my friends or with a boyfriend or whatever, they're going to get those stares. It's going to be uncomfortable because, unfortunately, the world doesn't know people like I exist that much. It's a very unknown condition. There's not a lot of medical research on it either, and it makes it difficult just because people don't know. And that's the complicated part of it. And I think that's the part of my disability that makes me different from other disabilities. People react to people with disabilities differently than they react to me because there's a clear, they're visually know that they're disabled, and then there's no visual cue to say I'm disabled.
There is an age requirement.
I'm 22. Thankfully, because the show is out, people have reached out. I've actually found people with other cases of diagnosed pituitary dwarfism, and it's really helped me understand that I'm not alone, and it really helps them understand they're not alone because they had all the same feelings that I had, and it's really actually beautiful, and I actually love it because I'm really grateful for the show because of it. And I would have never known that people like me exist, and I think that was probably the best part of this so far.
Shauna credits her parents for her self-sufficiency, and from dating to driving, she plans to live as normal a life as possible. She hopes viewers can learn from her positive outlook.
My parents never accommodated me growing up. They always told me I will find a way to do it. I'm really grateful for that because it prepared me for the real world, and it made getting a job and doing other things easier because I was like, oh, I don't really need all these accommodations. I can do some of this on my own. I am really hopeful that I do become fully independent, and that does happen, and I hope my family adjusts to it well. I hope that my family stays as close as we are through this process, even though they're going to get upset at times. And I'm really hopeful that in my future that I do find someone and I find more people to surround myself with. And I want everyone involved in this situation, whether they watch it, whether they are part of it, whether it's my own family, to walk away with a positive mindset and to be less judgmental, more accepting, and just be more of themselves also, and accept every part of yourself.
For more on Shauna Rae, pick up this week's issue of People on Newsstands Friday.